We set. And action, folks.
It's a very hot, romantic thriller.
Sound speak?
Yeah, Mark speak.
As you say, you don't really exactly know where it's going to be going.
How you doing, Miss Harrison?
Chief.
It's about temptation when you're sticking your hand in the cookie jar and it turns out to be the fire.
I don't think you've seen a movie that's ever looked like this. It's really beautiful looking. It's very exotic and colorful. It's a little mysterious.
Small-town police chief has an affair with a local woman. He is going through a divorce with his estranged wife, who's become a detective. Tries to help out this particular woman he's having an affair with, only to get himself into a jam that he spends the rest of the movie trying to get himself out of.
The great thing is you have Denzel on literally the worst day of his life, where he has to keep up the biggest charade, and who is in the same room with him but the one person in the world, the one woman who knows him best.
We enjoyed the bounciness of the script when he's trying to get himself out of this situation, you know, before it's too late.
I mean, that was also a character that we liked, was the kind of innate ticking clock that was built into the film, the almost real-time element that Dave Collard, I thought, executed so well.
I wanted to know what was going to happen next. I wanted to know who was doing what, because I knew that anybody could be this, anybody could be that, and this could be changed. So I was just really excited. I thought it was a very fun, smart, psychological thriller. And I said, this is great. Sign me up if I can get in there.
And I just thought it would be great to do a film that has that kind of, you know, the heat of Florida, the excitement of that.
Well, that was part of the fun of shooting the film in Florida, and, you know, based around Miami, because it's such a multicultural place.
Miami is a sexy city. The weather makes it so. People have a different feel and look, and it's just a perfect setting for this film.
I always feel that the weather and the environment is another character. And the relationship that people have to the real weather, to the real environment, I think somehow comes out subliminally, if not directly.
I think that a lot of what happens in this movie is, I mean, it started because of, there's something stifling about the heat. There's something that just makes you want to scream, that makes you just want to do something.
Something about the heat just makes you edgy.
I love the heat. I love the heat. The heat is just, it adds to the sexiness.
It really helps as an actor to be in that environment. Sticky, hot, kind of sweaty, just wet. Everything just feels different.
After like a couple weeks, you want to take your clothes off. That's the amazing thing. You want to be as bare as you can be because it's just so freeing and it's so hot that it's kind of like the climate guides your attitude and it influences your just the way you are and your behavior.
How you doing, Charlene?
Hey, Chief.
Hey, what time is it? It's 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, let's go. Big fish in a little pond. Chief of police in a Ford cop town, and you know, he doesn't want to go anywhere. He thinks he has everything right where he is, and I think he thinks he can do no wrong. And
people go to places like Banyan Key for vacation. They go there to retire. He kind of skipped all those steps and decided, you know, why do I want to go to a place like Miami when I'm already in the place where people from Miami are going to want to eventually go?
We like the character. He's somebody who is vulnerable. He's somebody who is basically a good guy and that for various reasons makes a few choices that land him in hot water.
Matt is a challenge for Alex. He doesn't want to leave his small town. He's very safe, yet she's got these big dreams, but she's in love with him.
I sent the money to your office. My guy just left. He should be up there in about, I don't know, an hour or something like that. If you still have a problem with that after I hang up in 10 seconds, call your partners at the IRS. Tell them to audit me, okay?
Oh, you little bastard. I'll take...
Agent Starr.
I'll tell you...
Starr.
What?
Agent Starr.
What?
I meant 5 seconds.
Damn it, Chief.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You're breaking up.
Denzel doesn't have to do anything to intimidate. He's himself, and you either take Denzel's attitude and find it intimidating or find it challenging. I happen to find it challenging, and it excites me completely, and he's amazing.
Denzel, he's so good that I mean, he'll throw curveballs at you all the time. It was really a lot of fun to work with him in that instance and see what curveballs he was going to throw and see what he was going to do differently and react to that.
Well, you know, he's one of the greatest. And I think in the history of film. I mean, serious. If you look back at all the actors, he's certainly someplace on that top 10 or top 20 or whatever.
He is so enthusiastic about the work. I mean, he's just thorough.
I learn so much from him every day. It's amazing. He's so professional, and he teaches me so much without even knowing it.
You look at the best athletes, they make it look like it's very easy. It's as if they're not working at all. And he does the same thing.
He completely immerses himself in the world of that character, so he really honors the character, honors the story.
Hey, Matt, I just wanted to say I'm really sorry about the timing.
What do you mean?
With the papers and then this today.
The divorce papers?
Yeah, I probably should have called you before.
That would have been nice. Eva Mendez, who was in Training Day with me, who plays my wife, and we're going through a divorce.
Eva actually was born in Miami, but when she was young moved to Los Angeles. But she's of Cuban descent, and she's, you know, as Carl says, she's saucy.
I just thought, I just need to be myself and use what attracts me as a person to this role, which was the ambition of the character. And as a woman, I think it's really neat because the character faces a lot of things that we face today as women. We want our career, we want our power, yet we always want our man. I mean, well, I do anyway, I can't speak for okay.
Eva Mendez's characters, you know, she's very much in control, and when this homicide takes place and that I'm in the middle of, what worse a person could they send than my ex-wife to oversee it? So there's a lot of gnashing of teeth, I'd say, on my part.
Alex serves him divorce papers, but you know, divorce papers are a way of saying, like, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. Unless they're actually signed, and she hasn't signed hers either. Unless they're actually signed, it's a way of saying, give me what I want, because it's this serious. It's this serious and this extreme. And she doesn't want a divorce. She wants a reaction. She wants some kind of wake-up call.
You been waiting long?
Hey.
Sorry about last night.
Okay. Sanaa Lathan, who plays the woman I fool around with.
Well, I was excited by her because she had so many layers, and there's a mystery about her that you never really can get a hold on when you're reading the script. She has many different colors and dynamics. I think it's always exciting when you play a character that scares you. When I read this, I was like, oh gosh, can I do this? But I always think that that's something that you should do. You should always, you know, step out beyond your boundaries.
For Sanaa, there was a fairly grueling screen testing process. It did boil down to the question of who would have the best exchange with our lead, and she went out.
The women dominate the picture. I'm just along for the ride.
And both these girls, I think, are really exciting to work with because they're both beautiful, they're both talented.
I didn't really look to the resumes to see where they had been, or, you know, I wasn't trying to anticipate any particular break in their careers. I simply looked at what I saw in the room, and I thought that, you know, they both came with it much stronger than any of the other players, and there were some very strong players who came in.
You having breakfast with all your friends here?
I would invite you, Chris, but I don't want to.
You know, I'd sit down, but I don't want to.
Dean brought the goods when he first came into the audition.
Dean can go head to head with Denzel. He's as big and strong and as fierce as he is.
You got two lions looking at each other, you know. We're clearly lions looking at each other. We know exactly what we're talking about, and it's not what the words are that we're saying.
And if he did that, then I'd go up to him, look him in his eye, and I'd say, just come near her again, and I'll kill you.
Two alpha males just kind of standing there and saying, who's gonna blink first? And I thought they just nailed it.
I think that what you see is an edge in him that a lot of people are not aware is there because he had to kind of erase that for the role of Superman. He was an all Ivy League American defensive back and played a year with the Buffalo Bills. And, you know, you don't do that working in a flower shop. You know, you just step in for a second here, and then let it get past you a little bit, and then step off, okay? How's the timing? Cool, otherwise.
Carl is a real actor's director. He's great. He's so nurturing.
Carl created a really nice comfortable and open environment for us.
You guys okay?
The way Carl created the atmosphere is by being open. It's just by letting us play. He's so cool in the way that he stands back and he lets the actors do what they want to do.
He is really generous with his actors, in that he listens to what you have to say and he really wants to know how you really feel about something.
He is, at the heart of it, a guy who really does understand character and really does understand the human relationships and does understand how hard it is to be an actor and to be natural in the moment of something. One of the things Carl likes to do is shoot on practical locations much more than on sets and sound stages, because there's a life in the room and that has an impact on how everybody feels in the moment.
Cut it. Very nice.
Ring any bells?
No. I mean, no.
He looked like him.
Like who?
Like him.
Like me?
What I was going for is a movie where you lean forward in your seat, where you're really interested in what's going to happen because you like this character.
It's not just a thriller. It's not just, a whodunit. It also has a lot of humor, and that was something I wanted to tackle too.
Carl allows you to have fun, which keeps coming back to fun with me. I guess it's a pattern, but it's what it's all about.
I just thought it was an interesting romp, it was like a good ride.